Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really diving into a pivotal moment, kind of a point of no return, you could say, that started a huge shift for, well, countless people.
That's a great way to put it. We're looking at the Buddha's very first teaching after he became enlightened. It's known as the turning of the wheel of Dhamma.
Or, in Pali, the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta.
Exactly. And this wasn't, just any talk. It was the bedrock, the absolute foundation of everything he taught later.
It set the whole thing in motion, the spread of the Dharma, the core ideas about liberation, a path out of suffering.
Right. And our goal here in this deep dive is to really explore those foundational ideas and see, what they still mean for you today.
Okay, so let's set the scene a bit. After his enlightenment, and there's that story of Brahma Sahampati urging him to teach, which is fascinating in itself.
A compassionate plea.
The Buddha decides, okay, I need to share this. His first thought was his old teachers, Alara Kalama and Udaka Ramaputta.
Yeah, but then he realized through his insight that they'd actually already passed away.
So, plan B. He heads towards Sarnath, near Varanasi. Why there?
To find his 5 former companions in asceticism, Kondanya, Bhaddiya, Vappa, Mahanama, and Asaju.
Now, these weren't just old friends. There was history there.
Oh, definitely. These were the guys who practiced extreme self-denial with him for years, but then they ditched him.
Right. When he accepted that offering of milk rice from Sujata, they saw it as him giving up, falling back into comfort.
They thought he'd lost the path entirely, so imagine the scene. They see him coming towards them.
And their first reaction, the texts say they actually agreed amongst themselves, let's just ignore him.
Yeah, don't stand up, don't offer him a seat. They basically wrote him off. Resentment, dismissal.
But then, something happened as he got closer.
His whole presence, his aura, his serenity, it was just undeniable.
The transformation was so obvious, so profound, that despite their plan,
They just couldn't stick to it. They found themselves standing up, greeting him, almost instinctively.
it was clear he wasn't the same person. He was, as the text suggests, vastly more awakened.
Absolutely, operating on a completely different level.
So their minds are already a bit shifted just by his presence. And then, how does he start the teaching? Not with some grand abstract philosophy right away.
Now, he starts very practically. He revisits the path that led him to enlightenment, the middle way.
Why was that so crucial, do you think? Especially for these listeners.
Well, think about his own experience. He lived the extremes, right? First, the pursuit of sensual pleasures in his palace life. He called that low, vulgar, unprofitable.
And then the other extreme, the intense self-mortification he practiced with these very companions.
Exactly, which he described as painful, ignoble, and equally unprofitable. He knew firsthand that neither extreme worked.
So starting with the middle way was directly addressing the path his companions were still on, the path of harsh asceticism.
Precisely. He's essentially saying, look, I've been down both those roads. Neither leads to the goal. There's another way.
It validated his own journey and offered them a different approach, a more skillful one.
And it wasn't just splitting the difference. It was a radical redefinition, really, making liberation accessible, not just for extreme ascetics.
Okay, so he lays down this foundation of moderation, the middle way. Then what?
Then he gets to the absolute heart of it, the core diagnosis and cure, the 4 noble truths.
Right, this is central. Let's break them down. The first noble truth of suffering, dukkha. What's key here?
Well, suffering is the usual translation, but dukkha it's much broader. It's not just obvious pain.
Like sickness or old age.
Yes, those are included birth, aging, sickness, death, sorrow, pain, grief, despair, not getting what you want. He lists them explicitly. But dukkha also points to a deeper unsatisfactoriness.
A kind of inherent stress or friction in conditioned existence.
Exactly, that sense that things aren't quite right, even when they seem okay. It's pervasive. It's not meant to be pessimistic, more like a realistic diagnosis. You need to see the problem clearly first.
Okay, that's a crucial point. So the diagnosis is dukkha. What's the cause? That's the second truth.
The noble truth of the origin of suffering, samudaya. And the cause, he says, is craving. Tancha.
Attachment, desire.
Yes, but a specific kind, this relentless thirst, this grasping. He identifies 3 types. Craving for sensual pleasures.
Okay, the obvious one.
Craving for existence, for becoming, wanting things to continue, wanting to be.
Right.
And maybe the less obvious one, craving for non-existence, wanting things to end, wanting annihilation.
Interesting. So this tancha, this craving in its various forms, is what keeps us stuck.
That's what he says binds us to the cycle of rebirth, or just the cycle of dissatisfaction in this life. It's the engine driving the dukkha. Understanding that helps you see the patterns.
Okay, so we have the problem, dukkha, and the cause. Pancha, what about the solution?
The good news. The third noble truth. The cessation of suffering, nirodha.
That says that dukkha can end.
Yes, it can cease completely. And how? By the complete fading away and eradication of that very craving, that tancha.
And the state that results.
That state is nirvana, the unconditioned, perfect peace, liberation.
So it is possible to get out of the cycle. But how? That brings us to the fourth truth.
Exactly. The noble truth of the path to the cessation of suffering. Magga. This is the how-to, the practical instructions.
And this path is the middle way he started with.
Precisely. It's the Noble Eightfold Path.
Okay, let's unpack those 8 steps. It's not just theory, right? It's a concrete practice.
Absolutely. It's a framework for cultivating wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline, all needed for liberation.
Right.
They all work together.
So where does it start?
It starts with wisdom. First,
Ah.
understanding samadhi. Basically, understanding these 4 noble truths we've just been talking about, seeing things as they really are.
Makes sense. You need the right view first.
Then, still under wisdom, comes right thought or right intention, samma sankappa. Thinking geared towards renunciation, letting go, goodwill, and non-harming. Setting your intention correctly.
Okay, wisdom first. Then comes ethical conduct.
Right. Sila, that includes right speech, samavaka, avoiding lies, divisive talk, harsh words, idle chatter, basically speaking truthfully and kindly.
Important. And then?
Right. Action, samakamanta, avoiding killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. The basic ethical guidelines for behavior.
And right livelihood sama ajiva, earning your living in a way that doesn't harm others. Ethically. So wisdom, ethical conduct. What's the third part?
Mental development, samadhi. This includes right effort, samavayama, making a conscious effort to prevent unwholesome states like anger or greed, and to cultivate wholesome ones like kindness and focus.
It's an active process, though.
Very active. Then right mindfulness samasati. This is crucial. Being aware moment to moment of your body, your feelings, your mind, and the nature of reality, the dharma. Present moment awareness.
Okay, and the final one?
Right. Concentration samasamadhi. Developing deep, focused attention through meditation. That focused mind is what allows for the deep insights to arise.
Wow. It really is a comprehensive path, balanced, holistic.
Exactly. Not indulgent, not harshly ascetic. It's a clear, practical framework anyone can work with to move towards ending suffering. A blueprint for inner freedom, really.
So, as the Buddha is laying all this out the middle way, the 4 noble truths, this 8-fold path, what's happening with his audience, the 5 companions?
Something amazing happens. One of them, Kondanya, gets it. Really gets it.
He's the first one.
The very first. The texts say he gained the Dhamma eye, the eye of truth.
What does that mean, the Dhamma eye? Is it just intellectual understanding?
It's deeper than that. It's a direct experiential insight. He suddenly saw the core principle. Whatever is subject to origination is subject to cessation.
The truth of impermanence and dependent arising. He saw it for himself.
Exactly. He understood that things arise due to causes and conditions, and when those cease, the thing ceases. He saw the possibility of liberation right there. It wasn't just belief anymore. It was direct seeing.
That must have been an incredible moment. And the texts describe a cosmic reaction, too.
They do. It's quite dramatic. They say the earth trembled, and deities, beings in other realms, rejoiced. They proclaimed that the incomparable wheel of Dhamma had been set in motion by the Buddha.
Wow. So this wasn't just a quiet teaching session. It was seen as a universe-altering event.
Absolutely. It marked the official start of his public teaching ministry. The birth of the Sangha, the community, the beginning of the Dharma unfolding in the world for everyone's benefit.
And that phrase, the wheel of Dhamma, once turned, cannot be reversed.
It's powerful, isn't it? It suggests an irreversible shift. Something fundamental had been set in motion in human consciousness, in spiritual potential.
So thinking about this whole event, this first turning of the wheel, that idea that it cannot be reversed, what does that evoke for you? Beyond the historical fact, what does it say about the impact of these ideas?
Well, it speaks to the enduring power and truth of these principles, I think. Once that understanding is out there, once that path is revealed, it can't just be unrevealed. It changes the landscape of possibility.
And how might understanding these core principles, the middle way, the truths, the paths, how might that actually impact how you, listening now, approach things in your own life? Challenges, goals, just daily experience?
It offers a completely different framework, doesn't it? A way to understand why things feel unsatisfactory sometimes and a practical set of tools to work with that. It's empowering.
Definitely something to reflect on. We hope this deep dive gives you some food for thought on your own journey towards, well, deeper understanding and maybe a bit more peace.
Indeed. It's a journey worth taking.
Until our next exploration, take care.